But he'd be somebody I'd be a little bit concerned about, you know, if it's a going night for him and everything's happening for him. He's a box of tricks. He is one that can, apart from Messi, he is one up front who can win the game for them. So I wouldn't look at his season, Stuart, and sort of write him off as being a player that couldn't cause us damage here tomorrow night, because I really believe he is a top player.
The question is, Lou, are they tested enough at the back in La Liga week in and week out? Is that something that United can cause problems with? Because, do we really know if they're any good at the back?
Well, I don't think we see that week in, week out in La Liga, because they don't play that many teams that are of top-class opposition. But I think what you can say about them, the obvious, Stuart, is that on the ball they can zip it around. And I thought against Real Madrid, in both the games against Madrid, they showed another side to the team, that they weren't going to be bullied. Yeah. And if you wanted to dive, they'll start that as well. I didn't like that. I mean, it was probably the most horrible game of the season. And, it's Real Madrid and Barcelona. It was a game we all expected it to be fantastic, all the good things in football. But it was a horror show. But they were quite crafty and clever. Yeah. And I thought they knew how to compete against one or two things that Real Madrid were doing. And I think they'll be as clever here tomorrow night as they were in that game.
Pep Guardiola, he's 40. He's won the European Cup in this stadium with Barcelona as a player in 1992, won it as a manager. I mentioned it earlier, 3 years as a manager, 9 trophies. Incredible.
Well, we talk about our manager leaving and we talk about the candidates for the job. And to be honest with you, my top candidate before the last, say, 2 or 3 months of the season was Mourinho. But I've just sort of fallen out of favour with him, Stuart, watching these antics in that particular game, or the 2 games against Barcelona. And I think this fella's jumped ahead of him. And if there was a candidate for Old Trafford on the record book, we've seen his interview, press interview, seemed a nice fella.
Speaks good English as well.
Speaks good English, seemed capable of handling a big press conference, because there's no bigger press conference than here tonight at Wembley. So he's got all the credentials of being a possibility of being the next man. And he's also said, which is quite strange as well, that his time at Barcelona could be coming to an end. Yeah,
he's only had sort of 1-year contracts, and says that after a while, the dressing room sort of gets fed up with the manager and the manager gets fed up with the players. Doesn't seem to work like that at Old Trafford.
No, it doesn't. But I thought that was rather strange and bold of him to actually say that. But he's obviously said it for a reason, and maybe that reason is that he would fancy a crack in the Premier League. And if he does fancy a crack in the Premier League, he's smart enough to realise that the best team to go to is Manchester United.
It's amazing to think that the majority of this Barcelona squad that we see training out here on this magnificent Wembley surface are free. They've just come up from the academy, from the youth ranks. Obviously, they spent a bit of money on the likes of David Villa, Piqué, who originally started obviously at Barcelona, but they bought him back. But a lot of these players didn't cost anything.
Well, they're obviously doing something, Stuart, that a lot of other clubs are not doing. Because I think nowadays, if any club gets one player coming through the academy who eventually gets into the first team and stays in it as a regular, then it's an achievement. I mean, we did it years ago with 6 or 7. I mean, that was a one-off. That's never happened since.